I'm not sure why the movie was called Deewana, which in Hindi means madness of a particularly nice or romantic kind. But I have a feeling it had something to do with the guy who wrote the plot. So here's my first life lesson, inspired by the movie title Deewana. Madness of the particularly nice or romantic kind is an absolute prerequisite to a happy and successful life. Don't ever treat your little insanities as if they are aberrations that ought to be hidden from the rest of the world. Acknowledge them and use them to define your own way of living, the only life you have. All the most beautiful people in the world, the most creative, the ones who led revolutions, who discovered and invented things, did so because they embraced their own idiosyncrasies. There's no such thing as normal. Normal is just another word for lifeless. Soon after I acted in Deewana, I became the hapless hero of a movie called Chamatkar. This movie had a more believable plotline. I get cheated of all my money by my best friend / conman and find myself asleep in a graveyard only to be awakened by the ghost of a murdered mobster. A ghost that only I can see and nobody else can. I am very perceptive that way. Anyway, the mobster ghost helps me get a job as a teacher through his ghostly good offices. I fall in love with his daughter, of course, from a wife that has passed on after being duped by the flunky of the mobster. Together, the ghost and I organize a cricket match. Yes, I was doing that even before I owned a cricket team. And avenge the various misdeeds done to us by bashing up the flunky and the con man. Then we forgive them because we have a good heart and let each other descend into their respective abodes, where we belong in the first place. He goes back to the grave, I go away with the babe. Now, Chamatkar means miracle, right and straightforward without any nuances. So my next lesson is the following. If you ever find yourself cheated of all your money and sleeping on a grave, do not fear. A miracle is near. Either that or a ghost. But all you have to do is fall asleep. Trust me. In other words, no matter how bad it gets, life is the miracle you are searching for. There is no other one around the corner. Develop the faith in it to let it take its own course. Make all the efforts you can to abide by its beauty, and it will not let you down. Use every resource you have been given, your mental faculties, the ability of your heart to love, and feel for those around you, your health and good fortune, all of the thousands of gifts life has given you to their maximum potential. Honor your life, please. Honor each gift and each moment by not laying it to waste. There is no real measure of success in this world except the ability to make good of life's endowments to you. Sometimes life's gifts arrive wrapped in all wrong damn wrapping, at which point we have to learn to do two things with them. Recognize them for what they are and gamble on our fear that they might be disasters. This brings me to my third life lesson, inspired by two movies in which I played the anti-hero, Dar and Bazigar. Okay, those stories I won't tell you seem to know them. But 20 years ago in the movies, roles were very clearly defined. They provided the security of your stardom in a sense. If you'd been successfully playing an angry young man, you'd pretty much be angry and young for the rest of your life. If you'd been a police inspector in 3 movies, odds were you'd be in the next 33 too. This applied to female actresses also. Wives were wives, seductresses were seductresses, mother-in-laws were mother-in-laws, and so on and so forth. Few actors would have willingly switched from romantic heroes to obsessively violent lovers. I took the leap not because I was particularly brave, but because a very dear director friend of mine sat me down and told me I was extremely ugly. And being ugly necessarily meant, I know. And being ugly necessarily meant I do bad guy roles. I wasn't the romantic hero types, he said. Actually, he used the words that my face was not chocolatey enough. So I started to eat a lot of chocolate. And while waiting for it to take effect, I jumped into bad guy roles. Dar means fear in Hindi, and everyone always tells you at speeches like this that you ought to be brave, so I'm not going to bore you with that idea. Instead, let me tell you this. Being brave means being shit scared all the way to the party. Yeah, I'm sorry if that word is being very scared all the way to the party. But getting there all the same and doing the funky chicken in front of all your teenage kids' friends anyway. Let me just add on behalf of all the fathers of the world who have embarrassed their kids by doing this, it takes a lot of bravery, resolve, and grit to do it. So just do it. Don't let your fears become boxes that enclose you. Open them out, feel them, and turn them into the greatest courage you are capable of. I promise you, nothing will go wrong. But if you live by your fears, everything that can possibly go wrong will go wrong. And you won't even have done the funky chicken. While we are on that, I do it. I do everything for you. I'm a doctor now. And while we were talking about fears and bravery, let me also add this, that all the planning in the world won't take you where you want to go. And it's fine not to know what you want to be 20 years from now. Most of those who had it all figured out become bankers anyway. I'm sorry. This goes live on YouTube. My big next loan for the film is finished from my friendly neighborhood banker. Okay, I did a movie once called Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, in which I was one of my favorite films actually. And in which I was the victim of a lover's confusion. And my next lesson is precisely that. It's okay to be confused. Confusion is the root to all the clarity in the world. Don't worry about it too much. Don't ever take yourself seriously enough to be so clear about your own ideas that you stop respecting other people's. Our values are our values. They don't make us any better than anyone else. At best, they just make us different. Always try to see the other person's truth, because like every movie has a story, every human being has one too, and you have no right to imagine that yours is better than anyone else's. You can leave that silliness to my esteemed colleagues and me. And if you thought the last two stories I told you were crazy, here's another one in the reckoning for the Oscar for Weirdest Screenplay. Guddu. Yes, Guddu was my name in a movie. I hardly look like a Guddu, but they still named me Guddu. About loving and giving, in which basically I have an accident, yes, another one. But this time, instead of almost wiping out my future mother-in-law, I wipe out my girlfriend's eyes. Many convoluted subplots, including a life-threatening brain tumor to me, a legal battle for the right to donate organs, and a fast on to death by my mother. My scientific lawyer father, my mother, and I are battling over which one of us will donate our eyes to my blind girlfriend. In the end, I recover miraculously, I still don't know how. And my mother dies, donating her eyes to my girlfriend. And then we all live happily ever after. Life lesson number 4. Rears its head. Give of yourself to others. And while you're at it, make sure you realize that you aren't doing anyone any favors by being kind to them. It's all just to make you feel that sneaky little twinge that comes from being utterly pleased with yourself. After all, the one that gets the most benefit out of any act of kindness or charity that you do will always be you. I don't say this as many see it in a transactive or karmic way. It's not an I do good, I get benefit equation with some white-bearded figure taking notes from the heavens above. It's a simple truth. An act of goodness becomes worthless when you assign a brownie point to yourself for it, no matter how subtly you allow yourself to do so. As benevolent as your gesture might be, someone else could have made it too. Regardless of how rich, successful, and famous you become, don't ever underestimate the grace that other people bestow upon you just by being the recipient of your kindnesses. You might be able to buy your friend a Rolls for his or her birthday, but it's no substitute for a patient hearing of your sulky rants on a bad hair day. Sometimes things just happen, as encapsulated in another movie title of mine, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And you know what? They don't always add up. So my 5th lesson is this. When life hits you with all the force of its resplendent rage, the Rolls isn't going to give you comfort. A friend's grace will. And if you can't find resolution as easily as you would like to, please don't panic. Everything evolves as you go along. Even disasters eventually resolve themselves. Give life the space to move at its own pace, pushing it ahead only by way of being kind to yourself when you're hurting or in despair. And you will be hurting and despairing a lot in this lifetime. You don't always have to figure things out or find an explanation for the circumstances you are in. It's more prudent to accept that sometimes there just isn't one. Ram Jane, God knows, that's what it means, as we say in Hindi, and as a priest responded to my orphan child character when I asked him what my name was in a movie of the same appellation. The boy plodded through 3 entire hours of film referring to himself by that fatalistic phrase, and why not? Who says that what we call ourselves is any definition of who we really are? And that's lesson number 6 for you. All the names you give yourself or those that others call you are just labels. You're not defined by them, no matter how flattering or uncomplimentary they are. What defines you genuinely is your heart. Ask or read about the artist formerly known as Prince, and you'll learn a thing or two from him, if you don't believe this insanely sexy Indian superstar telling you so. But I genuinely say this out of experience, because if I was to go by what I'm called on the social media, I would be an old, desperate, manipulative has-been star who swings both ways, making crap movies. And these are just the good mentions. If you aren't charged about doing something, if you don't have what in Hindi we call josh, the fire in your belly for it, then don't do it. It's a waste of your time and, more importantly, of those who pin their hopes on your endeavors too. Redefine yourself if you have to, but do it on your own terms and just get on with it. In fact, like my character in the movie, my name is Khan, if you've seen it. Don't forget where you came from. Please don't forget where you came from and who you really are. It ought to be the compass by which you navigate through life's vicissitudes. The north that keeps you oriented despite a series of misfortunes or a shower of privilege. One of the biggest hits I made was an unexpected one, and for once the plot was neither meandering nor barking mad. I was the coach of a beleaguered women's hockey team. That went on to overcome its own problems, its struggles, and win a world championship. Its title was Chakbe, an inspirational martial cry that Sikh soldiers used while lifting logs in order to make bridges across rivers on their campaigns against their enemies. It implies the will to get up and get on with it, which brings me to life lesson number 7. Whatever it is that is pulling you back, it's not going away unless you stand up and start forging your own path with all your might in the opposite direction. Stop whining and start moving, so to speak. I didn't mean the kid. Sadness and happiness. I'm sorry. She can whine. Sadness and happiness have the same quality of transience. Life is a balanced exchange of one with the other. And this is lesson number 8. Don't attach yourself to either. They're both going to change with the same certitude. Take them with the ephemeral spirit of their impermanence and manage them with a healthy dose of good humor. Laugh at yourself when you're despairing. Shed a tear or two when one of my movie plots makes you hysterical with laughter. I need to tell you, in Guddu, we did consider donating a single eye, the guy, to his blind girlfriend, and both of them waltzing into the sunset, eye patch to eye patch. We didn't do that. Then there was Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Yes, it means to be happy sometimes and sad others. Is the very beauty of a life lived in full measure. Why fail yourself by desiring one emotion and detesting the other? I have acted in 50 plus full-length films, or 60. If I took you through a journey of each title, we'd be sitting here forever. And you'd all end up fast asleep. So I'll wrap up with my last couple of words or lessons. Okay, film number 17. This one is Live from the Heart, Dil Se. Chal chaiyan chaiyan. Dil Se, love people, love the world around you, love animals and birds and big cities and mountains, love dreams. Yeah. And love your work and love me forever, love your friends and love me forever, love your enemies and love me forever. But most importantly, my friends, love yourselves. Embrace all that this life has in store for you. Let your heart be as deep as the deepest ocean and as wide as the furthest horizon. Know that it is limitless. Love is not an excuse to grab or to hold on or own or to barter. It is the only excuse you will ever have to call yourself special. And if someone you love lets you down, don't fault yourself for not trusting him or her. Fault yourself for not trusting your love enough to forgive his or her trespasses. You never know what the future will bring, whether there will be a tomorrow or not. I died at a shockingly young age in a movie called Kal Ho Na Ho, which means just that. And I wasn't even a smoker in the film, which was sorry. I've been told they're kids, so I can't use too many of these connotations and talk, so I'm controlling myself. But I never let my two older children watch it to the end. We even filmed, I asked Karan, my friend, to a whole alternate ending specially for them. But now they have grown up, and they're nearly as grown up as you are. They will soon be embarking on a wondrous journey of their own, like most of you are. Instead of trying to protect them from life, the wiser and older version of me grabs every chance to tell them, live as hard as you can in this very moment. Live now, live today. You may not see it with your youthful eyes, but now is as much time as you will ever get. Because tomorrow, we will all be dead. And just in case there is no cycle of rebirth, etc., why take a chance? I don't want to end this on a cynical note by reminding you about the reality of death. I want to let you all know that how important your today is. Your now is. Study hard, work hard, play harder. Don't be bound by rules. Don't hurt anybody. Never grow up and never ever live somebody else's dream. Remember, however many times you go wrong, no matter how many times you fail, despair, feel like this world is against you, in the words of Bob Marley, at the end, everything's gonna be all right. And in my words, हिंदी फिल्मों की तरह लाइफ में भी अंत में सब कुछ ठीक हो जाता है, और अगर ठीक ना हो तो वो अंत नहीं है, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे पास. So all you kids here, please take it as the only truth you need to know. In the end, everything will be all right. Take it and believe it, because the most, and this I say honestly, the most unlikely actor to make it in Bollywood is telling you so. The most romantic hero who doesn't look anything like chocolate or taste like it. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best in your lives. These are the only life lessons I can give you. And I'm open to you if you guys want to ask me something, or I don't know what the protocol is.
If you just hold on for a minute, we have polled the South Asian students at the University of Edinburgh, and we do have a set of questions for you, Dr. Khan. But I'm going to kick off with one of my own. I've taught the history of Indian nationalism and researched the history of Indian overseas migration at the University of Edinburgh for the last 25 years. One of your best loved films, and my personal favourites, was Swadesh. It talks about the anxieties of Indians living far away from home and the tensions between modernity and tradition. The same theme is touched upon famously in DDJL and Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham and so many of your other films. Looking forward, do you think these differences can be reconciled in a positive way, or will there always be difficulties?
Should I speak on this? You know, I did these films thinking they're just entertaining. You intellectualize them so much. See, I have been coming to this part of the world for years now, and when I started off, I had no idea that there is going to be a diaspora or people from various parts of the world trying to find their feet in different parts of the world. And I think somewhere down the line, you know, your motherland, your homeland, the place where you belong to always is the place where your roots are. And yes, there are times when there is a little dissent in terms of what you're looking forward to, having to work outside, make a living, go away from it. But the whole idea of Swadesh or DDLJ, the bottom line was that you are always going to be rooted where you started from. And, which I wish for every young kid here, once you, inshallah, make it really big and do well in your life, and you've achieved every material gain that you want, which you should, please don't give up on that. Don't become a philosopher before you become rich. Make sure. Honest truth. Please don't do it. Find your space, find yourself, however small it is, find yourself your apartment, find yourself a partner, find yourself a business, do everything. And once you have made it what you want to, please, if there is any kind of issues back home, go and look after it. That's how DDL Gen Swadesh was planned and decided. But there will always be confusion that should you be back home, or can we reconcile the fact that we are not doing anything for my own house? I think those differences are all right. Live with them. But once you have got what you wanted to achieve, please go back home and look after it too. That's the only thing I can say.
Thank you very much. So the next question is from Nishant Sharma. Where is Nishant?
Hi, Nishant.
Yeah. Sir, I would like to ask you, as a global brand ambassador of Indian cinema, how do you think we can promote and strengthen the ties between India and Scotland? And also, you have been shooting here for many of your films. So, how was your overall experience? Thank you.
I shot in 1998. Then I came for the Edinburgh Festival here. And the first time when I came here, we came and did Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, the shooting here. Yeah. And see, for filmmaking people, just as a business, the main thing is the logistics and the kind of, the facilities you get here. Because you come with about 100 people, 150 people. So it varies from the car that you need to the hotels that you need, and basically all the infrastructure for making a film. That needs to be of ease. And I remember, we had just flown into Scotland. We had made no plans. We were quite unplanned. We needed to do a song. It was raining. But the facilities here were fantastic. It was really brilliant. That's why we were able to pull off the song. And of course, it is, it's odd for me to talk about the beauty of Scotland, the Highlands. It's fantastic to look at. And not only that, I think the city area, which I've not really roamed around in a lot, but have noticed in coming in, going out, is extremely quaint and beautiful, has a lot of culture and a lot of character actually. And filmmakers would love to do that. So as long as, I don't know which are the film handling units in Scotland, but if they are able to give us, every filmmaker, not just us from India, I think every filmmaker, some kind of a platform where they know we just need to come with a script and shoot here, I think that would be fantastic, and it will make a huge amount of business sense, apart from tourism sense, and I think just the fact that, everybody wants to shoot in a beautiful place, and Scotland is extremely beautiful.
Great. Okay.
Thank you, Nikhil.
So the next question is from Twinkle Tucker. Where is Twinkle? There she is.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Twinkle.
So, you're a very busy man. You've been traveling from one set to another set, changing different countries. Even today morning when I read your Twitter status, it said that you were shooting all day and night and then traveling to Edinburgh, coming back, going back as in. So, in this whole process, how do you manage to balance your personal life and your work life?
I'm a little gifted. I don't need more than 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I've trained my family to be awake after 12 midnight. And unfortunately, even my kids, it's not a healthy thing to do, but I find time for them. When I'm making films, like just recently I was in Hyderabad shooting for last 7 days. I had my little son with me. My kids are now, in school. I think they get off tomorrow. I was hoping to be able to stay back and take them back with me. But I'll join them somewhere. But I do find time because there is nothing else I do. I go home. After I finish work, I don't have my telephone on. I don't talk to anyone. I don't do any work. I just get into my shots and I just hang with my kids. So I spend a lot of time with my kids. I mean, that's the only source of, how do I say it? It takes me away. The job that I do, working, always trying to get it right, hoping this will be successful, hope it entertains everyone. It's a hugely stressful job, so you need to be happy doing the work. I'm very happy doing what I'm doing 18 hours a day today. I may not be tomorrow, and then I leave it. But having said that, when I finish that job, all I want to do is just hang with my kids and do nothing else. So I think I've spent enough time with them. Obviously, it's never enough to spend time with your kids, but I do try to make sure that as soon as I finish work, the next 10 hours or 11 hours I'm with them. And I'll keep awake all night. I'll travel just like this to be with them I came down to have lunch with my daughter about 10 days back. Just flew in, had lunch and flew back again so that she doesn't miss seeing me. So I spend a lot of time with my kids. They don't come to shooting. They don't like me shooting. The little one is okay. He doesn't know what I do, so he just comes and hangs around. But I spend a lot of time with my family.
Love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Okay, so the next question is from Sonali Mehta.
Hi.
Hi, Sonali.
Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm sorry, but can I please hug you?
Yeah.
Please.
No, sir.
You're my role model. You're everything. Oh my God, I'm shaking. So my question was, obviously you're such a big star. You've made your mark and everything in the world. And today also you've got a doctorate. You're a Dr. SRK now. So what have been the main highlights? Like if you can just tell it in a gist, what have been the main highlights of the journey that you've had?
I think for an actor, the main highlight is, I normally don't get to see my own films. I finish them and then move on to the other. Because any kind of attachment to a film, I think, is regressive. I mean, any kind of attachment to your own art is extremely regressive. I think you should just move on. I've been told, and I say this often, that the art is important on its own, the artist is not. So my reaction to it, relation to it, I want to disengage and move on. But I think the biggest highlight always is, you make a film, you make a presentation, you go somewhere, and you see a lot of smiling faces. It's not been the business part of it. Sometimes because of the company, yes, you feel nice. But I think the greatest happiness I have is, there is a film and you watch it with 600-700 people in a dark room, and you know this is working for everyone. I remember, I'll tell you a small story of Chak De. I finished the film, and we all saw the film, and some of the nicest minds had made the film. I really want to point this out, that the acknowledgement, when I get a doctorate like this, I am actually taking it on behalf of hundreds of people who are responsible for making me who I am. I'm just the face, so I come and take these awards and all these honors. But these people have worked really hard. So in Chak De, we had the brightest minds making a film. We had these young girls who had worked 6 months on learning how to play hockey. We had Adi Chopra, the producer. We had Shimit. We had Jaideep. We had the nicest talent making this film. And Mr. Yash Chopra backing it. I'm acting in it. And then we went and saw the film. And I remember the first screening of the film, we all looked at it and we thought it was the worst film we've ever made in our lives. And we came out, and the girls didn't know this. They were doing it first time. For them, just being on screen was happy. So they were irritatingly screaming and dancing, while the 4 of us were sitting there crying with tears. And, we had reached that stage of failure when you start telling everyone, listen, at least we did what we wanted to, right? This is what we set out to make, and we made it. So success and failure, like I told you in the speech, is transient, and we'll come back, and it's all right. And we were really, really sad. Shimit ran away to America. I actually ran away to England. And all of us just dispersed, and we didn't know. And I switched off my phone, went to sleep. I woke up at 4 in the evening here after, I took a lot of intake of alcohol. It was the best way I can say. I was very depressed because we thought the film was good. It turned out not nice. And I woke up at 4, which must have been 9 o'clock in India. And everybody had loved the film. Everybody. The whole country had loved the film. And it was just such a huge success. And we still didn't believe it. So that highlight, when you don't know, is this going to work or not? If you know, then it's no fun. So the biggest highlights of my life have been that I don't know. And I've just woken up in the morning and been told, people are loving it. Not that it's a success. People are really enjoying it.